All right, everybody. It looks like we are live.
Hey,
So
hey, hey.
we're gonna I usually do like a nice little 2 minute intro, let people roll in here and we'll get it going. So hold tight.
Mhm.
All right. So how's everybody doing today? Hopefully y'all doing good out there.
That intro music was fire. Okay, first let's start there. Like that intro music was fire.
Oh, thank you. It took me a long time to create that music right quick. Let me get a little round of applause for that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, it was one of those passion projects. I was just sitting around just having a fun time doing things, and I was like, let's make it happen. Let's I was bored. And obviously I had plenty of time to do it. So how are you doing today, Markia?
I'm still recuperating.
Can you talk about the energy that we had at that place though? Oh my gosh.
It's so hard to describe if you weren't there.
Yes.
Oh my god, like I'm literally still trying to like get back from it. Like man, like and it's a good kind of drain because like I poured everything into it and got a lot back.
Right. And I had to say that I was skeptical at first because I was like, all right, well, we're just going here to Fincon and we're going to do some things, but I'm not sure what I'm going to get out of it. And it was like, this place is something different. And it's hard to explain because it's like, to have people that are, I know they always laughed about like, oh, yeah, make sure you're around like minded people. But for people to be like minded and expand your horizon at the same time, I just couldn't believe it.
For me, especially, this is my first FinCon, so I had and I'm new to the personal finance creator space. I've only been in this space for about like give or take 18 months, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's such a fun and welcoming environment." But like fun and welcoming to me, especially as a black woman, don't mean the same thing as everybody else. It means y'all will allow me to comfortably sit in the back as long as I don't ask questions. But like people were pulling me to the front and pulling me into conversations. And oh my God, have you met Markia? Like, hey, Markia, tell him what you do. Like, it was so welcoming and enjoy. Oh my God. Like I enjoyed myself so much. Like even outside of the actual convention, we went and did karaoke. I had a ball. We went out to eat, and I just I needed that. It was more than just like a work trip. Like I feel
Definitely.
like It felt like a vacation, low key. Like I feel rejuvenated. I came home ready to work. Like, oh, ooh, I saw this, and ooh, I want to do that, and da 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 da. Like I picked this up off one of them tables, man. This thing almost full. I'm gonna have to pull out another one of the little freebies I took.
Yeah, I had because mine, I actually had to use mine as the one when they started doing the local meetups and we were just chatting around. I was like, I need everybody's email. We have to do something local, something separate than what we have here because I mean, there's so much information that we didn't get a chance to sit down with everybody. It's so cool. Um, so what is so what are your major takeaways from it that you got?
Number one, and I think the biggest thing that I got from this was that it doesn't matter how many followers I have. It doesn't matter how many likes or how many shares I get. It's those comments and those DMs that be like, you changed my life, or you changed my family's life, or I was able to buy my house because of you. I was able to get this car because of you. That's what matters. And as long as you focus on that and don't lose sight of that, no matter how big or how small your platform, that is what measures your success. Not the follower count, not the brand deals, none of that. The people that you help, which is the whole reason a lot of us get into this in the first place, right?
Oh,
The
yeah.
people that you help are who, that is what determines the success for me. And I think especially in the age of like everything is social media, it's really easy to lose focus of that because you see everybody with larger platforms than you and you like, that's not fair. How do I get that? Like, I want that. My information is just as important. Why isn't everybody listening to me?
Right.
And so it was definitely a very kind of cathartic release of those expectations that I put on myself.
Oh man, yeah, because what's the name? Chris Browning was actually talking about that on his stand up at the main stage. And I had to say, like, I've been following this dude when he first started, and I'll constantly see him on Instagram. I was like, dude, I love your stuff. I like your studio setup. I was like, why do you have a teleprompter in your house? You don't need it.
Oh my God, you really asked him that?
Yeah, thanks for that. He was like, I gotta upgrade. It's like, but your content is so short in the time you're supposed to be popping popcorn. Like, do you really need all that? But it was a good time chatting with him because I caught up with him. There was something off site called the podcast movement, and I wasn't never heard of it, but somebody else invited me. So I'm like, let me check this out. And he was happened to be there the day before the main stage, and that's how I caught up with him. But I didn't realize how tall he was either. So it was actually pretty cool.
I bumped into him by accident, actually. He was one of the first people I walked up to
Mhm.
and like spoke by myself. I was actually talking to the guy who runs Do You Even Blog? This was after they did their panel.
Yeah,
And I was walking up to him and talking, and he walked past, and I looked, and in my head, I was like, I didn't say it out loud.
right,
That look like the guy from Off of Popcorn Finance. And I
right.
ain't say nothing. I'm still talking to the guy. And he was like, that's Chris Browning. And he said it so nonchalant. And I was like, no,
Yeah,
it's not. And he's like, I swear. He was so like, he had on like a face mask and a hat and like sunglasses.
right.
So then he started taking all his stuff off, and I was like, oh my God, that's Chris Browning. I was so nervous. And so like he introduced us and like I talked to him and we took a picture together. And I was like I literally listened to like, oh my God, this cannot be happening right now. Like I want to be you when I grow up. Like
Yes, and, like, because the thing about it, it seems like he didn't even really, had not how can I say, it wasn't feel like how everybody, like, brag about themselves. It was just kinda like, "Hey, we here to help," and that was the biggest thing I noticed about this financial community. It's like, "Yo, we all here to help and reach out to everybody." And no matter what the problem is, like you said, no matter how many followers you have. I think I gained, like, 6 followers since the show. Like, since the thing I was like, "Hey, you know what? It's 6 extra people I get to reach out to and help out." So,
exactly. Exactly. And that's a very healthy way of looking at it too, because it keeps you from thinking that you failed. It
right,
keeps you from measuring your current chapter against somebody else's chapter 43. Like, if you don't focus on what they got going on, and if you kind of have that tunnel vision on the people you're helping, the views and stuff will come. I mean, people will always need this information. So people will always be coming around, to give it to you.
yeah,
It's just, we got to stay focused and we just got to keep pushing. That's the biggest thing.
definitely. Because even with this podcast, because I was listening to what he was saying, like when they asked the question, like his graph that he posted up on the thing, he was like, "Yeah, when I first saw it, the numbers were so minute that you don't even see it, to the point where his smallest numbers were in the thousands." And it's like, well, how did we get there? You know what I'm saying? It was so cool. Who was the biggest person that you bumped into that you was like almost like a fangirl over?
I cried when I met Patrice Washington, and I actually have a picture of it, and I put the picture on
Oh,
Instagram because, like, you know, when she got on stage, she talked about her on the floor on the bathroom moment where she
mm,
just like cried and she felt like it was all over. And I remember my on the floor on the bathroom moment, she was the voice that picked me up.
mm,
So to that was like such a full circle moment to go from that was the voice I needed when I was on the floor. And now there's somebody out there somewhere who thinks I'm that voice for them.
right,
And I have her to thank for that because she got me through my own crisis, which kind of propelled me on this journey of learning as much as I can and telling everybody who will listen. And
right.
so it was definitely like a full circle moment. Like all she did was turn around and look at me and I bust out crying. Like
Oh, oh,
I bust out crying. And so then I calmed down. And then she was like, for those of you who don't know or didn't get an opportunity to meet with me, my business cards are a credit card, like an actual PVC plastic, like
nice.
embossed letters and like numbers and everything. And so she turned around and she was like, "You're the girl with the credit cards." Boy, I start crying again. Boy,
But for
like
her to know you, and that is so, man.
and then like what? She pulled her phone out. She
Yeah.
followed me on Instagram. She was just
Oh,
like, she gave me words of encouragement, told me how good of a job I was doing and you
mm,
know how I'm making a difference. And like she really helped put it in perspective to me. But it's crazy because to me, she's up here. She's the Kim Kardashian of personal finance for black women. And so to have her to take time out to pour into me, man, that experience in and of itself, that's something I will never forget. Like she was so humble, so graceful, so nice. Like, ugh, I will never forget that.
yeah. We definitely gotta make sure we get out there again. Because I'm
Oh, you know, I won a ticket the next year.
oh, congrats.
Hey, I went to the tacky
Hey,
tourist party.
let's go. I got
That's
some
tight. That is
yes,
tight.
let's get it. Because like we don't that is awesome because can you tell everybody like how did you actually win your ticket?
Okay. So at the end of every FinCon, apparently, there's a tacky tourist party. Okay,
Mhm.
so what happened was we went to the very last main stage. And it was like, everybody look under your seat. It's a free ticket. It was not a free ticket under my seat.
Right.
So then they was like, well, stick around, you're gonna get an email in a couple minutes because they announced that FinCon next year is gonna be in New Orleans. And it was like, you're gonna get an email with the price for the ticket. Child, them fucking pro passes. Well, I'm sorry, I forgot that.
No,
Them,
it's okay. But they are.
them pro passes were $500.
Right.
I I was in a parking garage because I drove down to Orlando. Boy, I started my car and went to Walmart so quick. I said, no, sir, no, sir. So everybody said that, the tacky tourist party, the people who dress the tackiest get free tickets.
Yeah.
And me personally, I had the best outfit, but I lost, unfortunately.
Oh.
But the in me losing, everybody kind of like advocated, and I was like, hey man, like, I tried. Do I get something? So they actually ended up giving me a ticket to next year. Look, she said I was definitely the tackiest. No, for real. Okay, so because I was up under them seats. You hear me? I
Yeah.
was up under them seats. So when I saw how expensive them tickets was, I was like, $500 for a ticket, maybe like $50 on a tacky outfit. And
Right.
so I went all out and it worked out in my favor. Look, it's all about how bad you want it. I tell my clients all the time, how bad you want it, what you willing to do for it. So
Yeah.
I wanted to go to New Orleans, and so now I'm going.
Now, and the cool thing about it is that I do have a photo with you right before you got your ticket. And I will have to say, like, your face was priceless. Because I was like, am I the last person that took a photo of you before you even
Probably, probably.
oh man, we had and granted, obviously it had the dark red or whatever and everything like that. Um man, I know we skipping so many days on that. And I have to say
Thank
uh,
you.
Yeah, congrats again. Yes, Tiff. If you guys don't know about Tiffany from Money Talk with Tiff, please definitely tune in. But she's actually been doing some great things. But again, so for people who don't know you, let's dive into you a little bit because you know they were like, "Hey, who's this random person with Anthony up here on the show?" My fans like, "Who is this?" But can you explain a little bit about yourself so everybody can know?
Sure. So my name is Markia Brown. I'm also known as the Money Plug on social media. I'm a certified financial education instructor and a board certified credit repair specialist. I started with a credit repair company, and then I was like, I can't fix everybody, so I'm just gonna start posting tips so y'all could do this yourselves. And then it just over. What happened was I got drunk. This was like New Year's Eve 2020. And I got drunk and I got on TikTok and I was like, I'm gonna post 365 credit tips next year. Like, and then I started posting them, and then people started catching on. People started holding me accountable, like, hey girl, where's my tip? Like, you're
Mm,
slipping today. Where's my tip? And
right.
so like it just kind of snowballed from there. And it took one video.
Wow.
One video, and I went from like maybe 100 and something followers to I got my first 1,000. And
Mhm.
then I started going live, and it just kind of like snowballed from there. And then eventually I got selected for the Black TikTok Creator Program.
Oh,
Um,
didn't know that was a thing.
and yes, and that like they've really helped me develop as a content creator, making sure that I'm providing value to my community, how to build a community. And now I'm 200K strong on TikTok. Um, I do a lot of free workshops with for like finances. We not calling them budgets no more, y'all. We call them spending plans. So we do spending plans. We talk about oh, thank you. We
Yeah.
talk about how your spending affects your credit in the long run. And if you're not managing your money properly, you're not managing your credit properly. And in fact, one of my more popular workshops, you're gonna laugh at the name. Everybody always laughs at the name. I
All right.
always come up with really catchy names.
Let's go.
So I have two really popular workshops.
Mhm.
One is called Hood Niggas Need Credit Too. That one started as a program for recently released felons who had been incarcerated for long periods of time, and it's helping them kind of reacclimate to society financially. And
Right.
the other ones is called, I don't know if you're gonna let me say that without bleeping it out.
You can go. No, we
Oh,
just
okay.
come right on in.
It's called Bad Bitches Need Budgets.
There we go.
So, it's cool that so and so paid for your trip and all that stuff, but you need to still make sure you got money just in case you don't want to kick out no, you know what, you can still pay your way back home. And
Right.
so, we started focusing on making sure that no matter what your income is, you know where it's going. And I think that's the biggest difference that I've noticed in my audience. It's not just about, well, I want this off my credit. I want that off my credit. It's about understanding how is your credit score calculated? What accounts provide value to your life and your credit report? How to analyze the difference between accounts that make sense and accounts that you just wanted because everybody else had it. And really understanding the psychology behind those decisions as well. Evaluating your relationship with money,
Mhm.
kind of forgiving yourself for the things that you didn't know, and not making those decisions again. So it's been a really crazy journey the last 18 months, but I love it. I would not trade it for nothing in the world.
Oh man, that is so awesome. I know you just see me like play around with these screens, but
That's so cool because I can't wait till it's over because I'm gonna ask you how you did that.
no worries. Yeah, I'm always willing to help and share because one of the guys, one of my mentees, Eric Barnes, is in the show, and he actually man, he has this whole story. I've been telling him like he should go, but for next year, but he's hesitating. I'm gonna tell him to get on there.
Do
Go-
it.
Right.
Do it. Like I'm telling you, like don't hesitate. Like when I tell you, it was a lot of people who hadn't even launched their companies or their brands and stuff who were at Fincon, and they felt so inspired while they were there. They posted their very first TikTok or their very first Instagram post. When I tell you that was such a man, I know we keep saying it was a very welcoming community, but that
Really is.
feeling, it's like going to your family reunion after not seeing them since you was little. And
Yeah.
it's like everybody was, oh my God, hey, what are you up to? Talk to us, catch us up. How can we help? What can we do? And I really feel like I was missing that. COVID really had me feeling mad isolated and really alone in my journey. with my business and with my brand. And so going to FinCon was, man, such an amazing experience. Like even if you're not in the personal finance space, listen, go. Like
Yeah.
I was telling everybody, go, go.
Yeah, because and I was talking to somebody that they really into budgeting, but they don't have their own business, and they actually working on trying to write a book and so forth. So I was telling her, I was like, even if I had somebody that would kept pinging me and pulling me to the side because she was looking into getting the podcast, and there was, I think it's another company that out there that does a different mixer. I have the Rodecaster Pro on my end. But there's another mixer
You
that's out.
got money.
Oh, you
Not the
see the mic already?
Rodecaster Pro.
Oh my yeah, because I was like, because I was telling her the mic that I have, I was like, the mic that I have costs the same amount of the mixer that they had over there. I forgot what the name of the mic was. I mean, the mixer was. But so she was like, how do I get started? And I was like, well, you don't need that. Because I was like, I started my show like just with my cell phone at the kitchen table. Like, and that's what we did. Hey, look at it.
Listen, I think
Right.
this was like $20 on Amazon. These headphones go to my PS5.
Oh, nice.
Like,
Nice.
my camera. So
Right.
this is actually my iMac. So I did splurge a little bit, once I
Okay.
was making some money.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I actually have my regular laptop, and my camera was a Sony ZV-1 I got on Black Friday. Like,
Nice.
it was so cheap. Like, you don't have to have top of the line everything to start.
Mm-mm.
And honestly, I tell people all the time, I love that whole started from the bottom, now we here. Like, I love being able to look back and see my growth, not only content wise, but man, equipment wise, because going back and looking at my videos, I was shooting in my bathroom in Germany on TikTok when I first started. So
Nice.
seeing that growth to now, look, I got a whole setup. You feel what I'm saying? I got
Yeah, I like the blue light back there.
wow.
Let's
You
go.
feel what I'm saying? I got
Everybody get in there.
wallpaper. You feel what I'm
Let's take a
saying?
look at that. Let's take a look at that.
Like, you look at
What?
my, and they real plants too. I've been keeping them
Look
alive
at
just
that.
because they're in the back of my video and I don't want nobody to laugh at me.
Right,
But
right.
like, I like to
Let's
having
get
a
you your
setup.
solo joint so we can see that. Yeah, yeah.
Period. Oh, girl. Sorry. But I got a ring light now, so
Right.
like I'm adding as I go and as I need it. But the biggest thing is that you have to start, because you will never be 100% ready. If you keep putting conditions on your beginning, you're never going to start. You have to start somewhere. You have to.
And that's the thing. It's like, we all afraid of taking that next step and putting ourselves in that arena where like we don't match, which goes back to how do we get over that hurdle. And I think somebody in one of the talks said, in order the way to get over those hurdles or those unknowns is to build a habit around it. Take your fears and make a habit. And I was like, poof. And my show is about building financial
Literally.
habits. Right.
Wow.
So it's like, how can I take people's fears and make that into a habit? All right, cool. You're afraid to take your first step. Well, then how about you take the first step of making your bed in the morning? All right, now you're afraid to go running. Well, how about you go walking first? Like, just start building those habits on a one or two thing. And that goes back to, that brings up the next question on what I had was, I had on here, like, what did I learn from Fincon? So I'll let you go, or I can go first and then.
Yeah, you go first because I
Okay.
learned a lot. I got to pick my top. You go first.
Right. So the first thing I learned, oh man, I don't know why so many people left so early, but the last speaker was the one that spoke to me the most. When she was talking about flow your business, I was like, if y'all out there, Bernadette Joy, if you're listening to this, because I did post it up on Instagram, if y'all kept seeing me looking down, if you're listening to this, Bernadette Joy, look her up. She said, flow your business. And one of the things that I did when I first got home, I changed my availability for my podcast. She was like, limit your availability. And one of the things that I did was I limited the amount of time that I do for interviews. I made sure that I used to be available every day of the week. I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm here for somebody to contact me. Did you know I was so upset? I left work early trying to come home to make sure I could have a podcast yesterday. This person did not even show up. I stayed on for like a whole extra half hour just waiting. But I was actually, doing stuff. But I was like, you know what? I'm going back to what Bernadette said. Limit my availability because they're gonna make sure they're there. And I've I was like, do I give this person another chance? Do I send them an email, say, hey, sorry, we missed each other? I'm not sure what's happening in their real life. But I did feel some kind of way. But that was one of the biggest takeaways that I had amongst other things. And she said, I wish I had my notepad um around here. Wish I did. I know I have it somewhere. But that's one of the major things that I remember and I know I will never forget was to limit my availability.
And it was funny because it was crazy. Like right before we went and saw Bernadette, I was
Mm.
talking to some ladies. We were eating lunch. We had went out to the food trucks outside and we were talking. I had told them like, yeah, I'm starting to get better with managing my time and all this other stuff. Like I don't work weekends now. Fridays I'm off. But yo, she said that and like she actually showed us her schedule. Bro, when I say I literally logged into my Acuity app, literally right there and was like, oh yeah, I'm off Mondays, I'm off Fridays, don't ask.
Don't ask. Yep.
Thursdays, I'm off after 12 o'clock. Don't
Yep.
ask. I'm not changing my schedule. Like I I also, and this was something I incorporated once I came home because like you, I'm making these appointments and it's like people not showing up. People don't appreciate or value my time. When I tell you I sat down and I drafted up a missed appointment fee and I sent it out to everybody. And
Mm,
now, in order to book an appointment with me, you have to sign that you agree. If you do not show up, you get an invoice. You don't pay that invoice, then you will never get another appointment with me.
there you go.
Period. My
Right.
time is just as valuable as yours. Now, if I wouldn't have shown up to an appointment that you scheduled, you'd be pissed. You'd be dragging me on social media.
Yep.
And so I expect that same respect from the people who book with me. And, one of the other things that she said was, matter of fact, she said the same thing you said. Face fears with habits,
Yeah, that's
and
yep.
and one of the things was like, and she was like, "What habits do you want to incorporate into your business?" And for me, it's show up.
Yeah.
There are days when I don't want to show up for my business. I'm tired. I don't want to. I don't feel like it. And I also struggle with mental health. I'm a vet. I'm retired Army. And
Oh,
I
thank you for
struggle
your
with
service.
PTSD.
Thank you.
I ain't do nothing. I tell people that all
Okay.
the time. But like, I have PTSD. And so for me, like, when I'm getting overwhelmed and I'm feeling very overstimulated, I shut down and I don't want to post on TikTok or post on Instagram. But the one habit, she was like, when you don't want to do something, make a habit. So
Right.
now what I have is I always have 7 drafts sitting sitting on my app on TikTok.
Okay.
That gives me 7 days to get my life together. And so
Mhm.
that way if I don't feel like it, I still have something that I can post and I'm
Right.
going to be able to show up for my business. But as those drafts wind down, once I'm out, I have no crutch to fall back on. But my habit is that I will always show up for my business because it's not even just for the business. I'm showing up for the people who depend on me for this content. And I think that was the habit that was the hardest for me because, I was doing too much, but at the same time, I didn't have the right systems in place to do enough. So it was like I was overexerting myself, posting content everywhere and doing everything when I can work smarter, not harder, and just have drafts for the days where I'm really not feeling it instead of pushing through that. You get what I'm saying? So I prepared for the days when I'm not ready. Oh, look, preparing for the off days. I
Yep.
prepared. I literally came home and recorded 7 TikToks. And now every 2 weeks, I will re-record these videos depending on what's going on, what's the trend, to make sure that I have these on those days when I'm just not feeling it or when mentally I'm not there, so that I always show up for the people who depend on me for content. And oh man, she just really had me reevaluating a lot of stuff. I really can't see how people left early. I don't, because like
Yeah.
she was the one that hit the hardest to me. We was the people in the front and
Yeah,
she
we were.
kept looking at us. And we was yelling like we was in church.
Oh, yes.
Girl.
Oh, y'all over there. Okay. I was like I was in the center row. So you guys were over there. I was like, okay. Yeah, she
Right,
was
like we was lit like
everything.
church, okay?
Yeah.
Like we really was because she was literally speaking to me. I felt like, how when you go to church, you feel like the pastor like teasing you or
Yeah,
picking
yeah.
on you.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. It felt like she went in my emails and was minding my business. That's what it felt
Yeah.
like.
And one of the things I was listening to somebody else that said because they actually help retired their wives or their significant others doing the podcast or so forth, but they were doing it on YouTube. And they were saying it's like, they don't bulk record, or somebody said that they don't bulk record. And the reason why they don't bulk record because they feel like they're not giving value to their audience. But I'm thinking money is evergreen. If you're not producing content that's good for 6 months down the road, then what are you doing? Talking to the news? Like, we not newscasters. I'm sorry. I'm a bulk record. It's like I can't sit up here and
And
do
it's
that.
so funny because I'm not, so we call it batching in
Okay.
like short form content. We call it batching. I don't typically batch. 7 is still a lot for me. That's a week's worth of content for me. That's why I re-record them every 2 weeks because the
Mm.
trends change. But I typically don't batch create content. And it's not because, like, for me, it's not because I post two types of content. I post some that's on trend, so it'll be like a trending sound or dance or something like that. And then there's the one where I'm just talking and providing that value.
Right.
And so the videos that I have that are batch created are my value videos. They'll last a little longer than a trend or something like that. And so for me, batch creating just gave me the heebie-jeebies because like my anxiety, that pressure is building. Like the pressure of having to create all that content at one time and to get everything across. Like, I don't know, I'm scared I'm gonna forget something. What if I leave something out? What if I exclude somebody? So for me, it was like a mental thing as far as why I don't batch.
Yeah.
That, and I'm lazy, I'll be honest.
Oh, we
I'm
are.
not about to sit there and record all that stuff all day.
Yeah.
But you know, after talking to a lot of people, that was what made me be like, you know what, I can do 7 videos. Like, all right, girl, you're not too good to at least do that.
Right.
Like, and eventually, you never know, it might build up to that. But they said the same thing you said. Our content never changes.
Yeah.
It's very rare that a policy or a law or something will come out that really change what we're saying. It's all about how you say it and the different ways that you can say it. I think that prevents people from batching.
Nice. Yeah, because I gotta say, for me, as long form, I do a lot of batch recordings, but obviously it's with guests on and stuff like that. And obviously I do live shows now. So and that's one of the things that I kind of started getting into because I enjoy the interaction of the people just like live right now. So it's like I want to take a moment to kind of say hi to everybody that's here right now. So we got Highway 54, which is Eric and his team over there. So he's actually about to get married. And I was like, dude, thanks for calling me on the show before you go. Like, he was on with me like a little earlier before we went live. And I just want to say thank you for showing up before your actual wedding, and congrats on that. We got Tiff in the audience. Money Talk with Tiff. Definitely check out her YouTube. Even if her YouTube, her Twitter, everything up in there. We have Jama Wealth. I'm not familiar. I do apologize, but I think
I love her.
okay. Well, tell me a little bit more about it. I'm sorry, I can't.
So I actually just started following her. So I just matter of fact, I think it was either right before Fincon or like during Fincon when I started following her and like watching her content. I've never watched none of her long form. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm a Instagram, TikTok girl because I got 1,000 kids, so life comes at me quick. But I've been watching her content like that on Instagram. She's amazing. That is her Instagram. So, oh my God, she's so dope.
All right, I'll make sure I'll subscribe as well. So we have Angel up in here. Yes, so my friends call me Coke, so don't worry about
I was wondering because I was like, what you?
No. It's one of my old nicknames, long time ago. I'm sorry, Floyd. He gonna kill me. Floyd, you know how you mess up names all the time too, so don't blame me.
Listen, girl, after like number 3, it's like kids are like Pringles. Once you pop, you just can't stop.
Hey, we got Landy up in here. We have who else we got up in here today? We got Jamal. Jamal's in here, one of my good buddies. So it look like we a little bit over the half hour mark. You ready for some drinks? Are y'all ready for drinks? Just type in drinks in there. You ready for drink? You got a drink?
I got Pepsi.
Okay.
Okay, I drink. Listen, I drink for that. I can't. Anybody who follow me know one thing about me. I'm finna have a Pepsi.
Hey, there you go. You better get some sponsorships. Right.
Okay.
That's
look,
good.
Look.
Right. Hey. All right, hold on, people. Let's go. everybody.
That was so cool.
Oh, you like that?
Oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah, this is every Wednesday. So, I want to welcome everybody here. Y'all know what it is. So, tell me what y'all drinking. Jamal, you better not say Hennessy because Hennessy goes with everything. So, all right. So, what I'm trying today is a pumpkin spice craft soda. I figured
I'm a hit out. I'm a hit out. I'm a hit out. Not the pumpkin. Not you too. Not you too.
This is the only thing I was trying it. Okay, and I already bought a case of 4. So
a case? You didn't even get a single serving. You got a case.
All right, but what we're gonna have on top of that? Everybody know we gotta have the Amsterdam up in here today. So we're gonna go in. Oh, not your chest.
Jesus, you trying to put hair on your chest? Oh my God!
Not that much. Try. All right. Now they usually see me pour, but then they want to see more, and I'm like, dude, I gotta go to work tomorrow, so that's what you're yeah. So
I gotta see you drink this because I want to see that face. I gotta see your face because pumpkin and New Amsterdam.
Oh, yeah. let me see it. If I can zoom in on my face here. What we got? Not too bad.
No, that's what people say when they try and be nice.
Got what the tail way, try to hold it back.
See, I'm an apple girl. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. It's fall. I'm apple everything. So if y'all ain't tried that new apple macchiato down at Starbucks, go get it. It's fire. I can't do pumpkin.
Apple macchiato.
It's like an apple something macchiato. So good. I get it iced. They have it's like an apple oat milk macchiato or something like that. Mm-hmm. I just can't do pumpkin. I grew up on like hot apple cider and apple cider donuts and going apple picking and stuff like that in the fall. So pumpkin.
You're like, ugh. Hey, I mean, it started to grow on me after a while. It's like,
oh God.
Yeah, it's about that time. You know what I'm saying? Because
it is spooky season.
It is spooky season.
It's spooky season.
Oh man, they drinking Uncle Nearest. Okay, so this is going to be fun. So since it is your first time on my show, live even, which most people are really afraid of live, so I do have a small segment which is called Pod Decks. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
Oh. Well, then hold tight.
This episode is powered by Pod Decks. Pod Decks are unique interview questions and episode starting prompts in the palm of your hand. So whether you're a new podcaster or existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience and have more meaningful conversations, you're going to want to check out Pod Decks. Now, if you want to get 10% off your order right now, you can go to poddex.com and type in coupon code. What's the code? Yes, that's the code. Check out poddex.com. Take your podcast to the next level.
I need to step my game up. What is this?
Oh man. Yeah, so Pod Decks, for you guys who are interested in getting some Pod Decks, make sure you go to poddex.com, use promo code WALLET. Again, so all that footage that you saw, that was something that I curated and put it up together with some audio. So what I usually do is have some music for the background as we go through these. And I actually do take questions. So we're going to have some phone callers coming in soon. For those of you who know the number, hold tight. Don't call the number just yet because I got to get everything going. But the question is, if you had a day where calories don't count, but you could only eat 3 foods, what would they be?
So I don't know. You know what I look like. Everybody else don't. I'm like 100 pounds soaking wet. So calories never count in this household. Amen.
Hey.
So for me, well, I'm lying. I do have diabetes, so I do normally have to be careful. But for me, I'm very specific. Oh, that's the name of the drink. Oh, it's so good.
Apple milk.
For me, the three foods I want, and I just had this today actually. So it's the carne asada fries at Juan's, and I can only get it from this one particular restaurant, like that's literally right outside of Langley Air Force Base.
Mhm.
It's literally like this big in there, but the food is amazing. So the carne asada fries.
Mhm.
I want griddle cakes from McDonald's. I know that sounds really weird, but I
Ooh,
just want
okay.
the griddle cakes. I
Yeah.
don't want nothing else. I just want the griddle cakes. And what's the third one? Oh, this gotta be a good one. This gotta be a good one. Something I can never have. Okay. I want a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts. And I
Ooh.
don't want to share. And they gotta be, I'm talking like hot light on,
Yeah.
like dripping down your hands when you bite into it. I want that. I want that. Those are the three things.
Okay, so for me, the three things would be I gotta be the meat lovers pizza, like Chicago joint. I had that.
Yes.
It's I mean, it took me 2 days to finish one, but when I went to Chicago, I just flew to Chicago just for the pizza for a weekend. I was like, I'm just here for pizza.
Hashtag goals.
Oh yeah. Well, when you get those travel points, you just go. Right. um, so I got that. The second thing that I wouldn't mind having, calories didn't count. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to roll with you on that. Those glazed donuts, so they are so fresh, like right off the belt when they put the stick in it, just to kind of so they don't.
Yes. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. And when they hand it to you in the bottom of the box,
Oh,
it's kind of bowing a little bit because it's warm.
oh my God! Let me see. I got something. Yes, this is gonna get a little Sonic ring up in that joint. Yeah, they're so good. And then the third thing, I will have to say a Philly cheesesteak with everything on it. No mushrooms though.
Then it ain't everything.
Oh come on, I can't do the
It's
mushrooms.
not. What is wrong with your taste buds?
No, I can't do.
What's wrong with
You know
you?
what? If they chop it up finely, I don't want them like all in
You
there.
know what? What's
Right.
so funny about that? My husband, my husband don't like onions, right?
Right.
So whenever we go somewhere, he'll lie and tell people he allergic to onions just so they won't put it on none of his stuff. But if it's finely chopped and like he can't like visually see it, he will fuck it up. It's like he will eat that food. Like it's so funny because he'd be like, I don't like onions. I hate onions. It's nasty. But then I'm sprinkling onion powder on everything. I'm chopping up onions real small, I'm putting it in
Mhm.
stuff, and he just be eating it, no problem.
Just like they
No
do in the
problem.
meatloaf back in the day.
Yes. Yes, exactly like that.
Yeah.
If
Do
you're
you
not
cook
getting them from
yourself?
Philly, then they want Philly cheesesteaks.
Oh, that's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm from
Well,
Baltimore. I done drove up to Philly for a cheesesteak before.
yeah. Landy's from Philly. See a Philly girl there. Yeah. That's good to know. But yeah, I have been there a couple times to kind of see the Rocky Steps and everything like that. So
I think the last time I went was Made in America last year. I'm obsessed with music festivals. Wait a minute. Speaking of festivals, look what I got in the mail today.
okay.
Isn't this so cool?
What? Hold on,
It's a pizza
let me
box.
see, man.
It's a pizza box for Rolling Loud. So Rolling
Nice.
Loud is coming up. And I
Mhm.
got the Munchie VIP pack because why not?
Right,
And
right,
it came in this really cool packaging.
right.
And inside is like my wristband and all this stuff, but it came with like
So
stickers.
cool.
This is like just like a little decoration. I thought this was a soda.
Mhm,
My fat ass. And it came with like a t-shirt that looked like you work at like a pizza parlor and
mhm.
stuff like that. Like, oh my God, like everything in this was just so cool. I thought I was thinking to myself, like, okay, so now what packaging do the money plug need? Because if they doing like this, I definitely
Yes.
got to step my game up. Like,
Yeah, and I always like those boxes because that's one of the things that I want to do is I want to do like gift boxes from everybody that's been on the show. It's like, hey, I would do a lovely gift box to anybody else. It'd be like $50 for the gift box, but everybody just poured it like a sample of something. And to
oh my
make
God.
it worth the $50, I don't have my hoodie down here, but I'm thinking about just throwing a hoodie in there. And a hoodie by
Ooh.
itself is $65. And that's why I sell it on my show. And I was like, that would be pretty cool. So like even if you got a service, you could just say a card with a whatever your special code is or something like that.
Mhm.
Just like, you know what? Let's curate everybody and like, hey, you know what? I want to do this for my audience. Everybody just kind of send me a little sample of something and let's put it out there.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. You shouldn't have told me, because now every day I'm gonna be like, all right, Anthony, what you do for the box? What's up with the box?
Well,
That is a really dope idea.
Yeah, I need to figure out the box, like what it would look like how you say you got the pizza box. Like, what would it be for me? I would say
a wallet.
A wallet, right? But I don't think a wallet would be big. You know what? I could do a wallet with a lot of cards in there for your stuff.
Oh my god, yes.
That'd be really cool. All right, my eyes are getting small because of the alcoholic beverage. But
that was all I knew. Amsterdam you pulled in there.
Right.
There you go.
Right. Oh, Tiff think it's a good idea. I wonder what Tiff would throw in there. She got merch. She does have
and it's so funny because it's about to come back out. I only drop merch in like the winter time because I'm obsessed with like hoodies. So I have like sweatshirts, and this is like WWTMPD. What would the money plug do?
Okay.
And then I have hats, and then I usually got like coffee mugs, because one of my first frameworks for my class was cream, or credit rules everything around me. Cream, check your credit and pay your fucking bills, y'all. So I have it on like little coffee mugs and t-shirts and stuff. I just started really getting into all that, but I was at Fincon and I seen some of the stuff that people had. I said, "Oh baby, we got to step our game up." Like,
I was looking at, all right. So I do want to get into, because I know we were talking about some other cool things on here. I just want to take a shout out to Tyson. Thanks for joining. Sean for joining. And Coach James, thank you for joining. So one of the things is that they were giving out books. Did you pick up any books that they were giving out?
I'm doing? Oh, okay. So I guess it's a nice time to invite you to my book club.
Oh yeah,
because I want to do a book club with all the books I got from Fincon, and we're gonna talk about, and we can go live. All of us can go live and talk about the books and stuff like that.
Let's make it happen.
Yes.
So the first book that I got, you want to alternate these books? Because I got one and then
I think this was one of the first books that I got. Shout out to Chris.
Yes, Chris. I did.
What's the Finlit guy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got it. We in there. Because that's one of the YouTubers said it was the difference between followers and subscribers. I mean, followers and supporters. Because there's a lot of followers, but so few people that will support you. And I would say, you know what? I'm not going to just follow Chris. I want to make sure I support him. Mm-hmm. And so for him to have his first book out there is awesome. Did he write you a little note on yours?
Yes. Oh my God. Well, let me tell you, and I'm gonna call him out, and I hope he sees this too, Chris. Because he wasn't going to at first. He just handed me the book, and I paid for it. And I see him writing in somebody else's book. I said, "You gonna write in my book?" But it says, "Markia, thank you so much for your support and belief in me in this movement. Wish you nothing but the best." And then he signed it with his ad. So shout out to Chris. That was really dope.
So in mine, it was very short because it was at the end of the day. We'll try to wrap up. He said, "Anthony, thank you so much for your support and the belief in me. I really appreciate you, Chris." Yeah. All right. So we got that one down. Let's see. What's the next one?
I don't have all of mine in here. Oh. Dang it. I do got a lot of them though. Ooh, here goes some more.
All right. I got one. I'm gonna do it this one.
Okay.
So this one is called The Healthy Love and Money Way by Ed Cohen's.
Ooh, isn't that the guy that did the panel with? Oh my God!
You know, he was fire.
Yes.
I caught up with him in the prior thing, and what he said was like, you know what? I give up my book as my business card, and I was like, dude, can you write something in there so I can know who it is? So he said to Anthony, wish you. I can't even read his handwriting. I don't know. So great and success. Your experience finance.
May your experience.
Oh, may your experience.
You drunk. You drunk.
So what I put on there, just so I can remember, I made sure I put in there hashtag Fincon 2022 and also when I got it, because knowing me, I'll be like, I don't know when I got this book and when I got it. But he's actually willing to come on the show. So I'm gonna have him on the show. I'm gonna read the book first. He was like, you don't gotta read the book, but read the book. And then he was like, I'll come on anytime. I was like,
oh my God. Okay, so now you got to pass on his information because I want to talk to him too on TikTok Live. That'd be dope. I got Buy Then Build, How Acquisition Entrepreneurs Outsmart the Startup Game. I cannot wait to read this. Like, I was just kind of like skimming through it, and it was amazing. Like, I was like, oh yeah, we definitely going to get this.
Right.
All right, you up next.
All right, let's see. This is my last book that I got from Fincon, and I picked this one up.
They
Yes.
didn't have no more. I'm
They
gonna
didn't have no
buy it. I'm gonna buy her
Oh
book.
no.
Can you take a picture of that and put that in the group
Yeah,
chat after this? Because
yeah,
oh my
yeah.
god, I wanted that book so bad.
Yeah, because I was looking at this, they were just dumping it on the tables. If I would have known, I would pick you up an extra.
Dang it. By the time somebody said they were on the table. And
Yeah.
when I went in there to go grab one, they were gone. Oh,
Yeah. It was me and somebody else. We were just reaching through the little thing while they were doing the recording. We were going to back, getting the books. I was like, yeah, I'll take one of these.
and
It's so
then
good.
this is my last one, the Exitpreneur's Playbook.
Ooh,
Reverse engineering your pathway to success.
I want that one.
All right,
It
how about
looks-
this? I'll trade you. I'll
Okay.
read it, and
Yeah,
then you read that one, and then we can switch.
Sounds good. All right, so I need to add this to the top of my list because I want to make sure I finish this before I mail it over.
Like,
Yo.
ooh,
Yeah.
ooh.
So this is the thing about this, guys. Like Fincon. All right, so this will be. I know we run up on time, but I know you know you good. You good, right?
I ain't got nothing to do.
So one of the things I did say on here is like, because I know we talk about all the positives, but what is the cons about Fincon that you got?
So for me, I feel like one of the cons was I feel like going to all the booths, once they opened it up to everybody, a lot of the booths were empty. I never saw nobody at the booth. And I really wanted to speak to the brand or speak with the brand, and nobody was ever there, or I felt extremely dismissed when I went to go talk to them. It was a really weird experience because everybody else was so welcome. But yeah, that was one of the cons. And then for me, he said I spent way too much money. That was the con. And then that DJ at the Tacky Tourist Party, that was the biggest con. When he started playing Holla Back Girl over top of the Thriller soundtrack, I was over it. I was like, oh yeah, it's time for me to go to Big Ed.
Yeah. The funny thing is, right before that last party, we were at the bar, me and this other guy, Cecil. Shout out to Cecil if you're watching this right now. And it was the other girl, I forgot her name. Dex. I want to say her name was Dex. And what we were doing, we were just sitting there, and the guy was like, yeah, y'all be back. It ain't that good anyway. And he was like, I would have bought you another round of drinks if I would have known y'all were part of Fincon. So that's one of the things I did, was thinking about. But I was like, it's my first time I want to experience it all and have a good time. But I would say my con was, I have to say that it felt like I didn't like how they overlapped everything so much, especially on that last Saturday.
I was literally running from room to room, like, oh my god, I gotta get here. Oh my god, I gotta get here. Like
Right.
it was a lot. It was a lot that last day.
Yeah, because I wanted to listen to Mindy Jensen because she was there, and I was like, Mindy from not the pop. I keep saying Pop Finance, but from Bigger Pockets, she was there, and I was like, I really wanted to listen to her, but because we wanted to support everybody, I was like, hey, somebody gonna get missed out. And I'm not sure if I'm about a replay. That's one of the things.
My con is, and I hope Chris is watching this because I blamed him for absolutely no reason, but I didn't get to meet all of the Black creators. Like I didn't get, connected with you guys until the end of Fincon. And I was like, dang, I missed Top Golf and all this other stuff. Like, man.
Oh, you didn't go to Top Golf?
I didn't get added to the group chat until the very last day.
Oh no.
So,
okay.
But I'm ready
Yeah,
now.
you're in there.
I'm in there now.
Yeah. I have to say that one of the things that I had to say, which was upsetting, was when the app went down and they didn't have it paper copy. I was like, I had things planned out, but yeah, I'm sitting here at the meet and greet and still chatting. I'm like, I don't know what to do next.
I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I don't know whose class is next. Yeah, that was a bummer too.
Yeah. I think that was probably the last thing. I actually do wish I had more pins because I was giving out pins randomly with my business cards. So these are like branded pins.
That's really cool.
Yeah, somebody was like, oh, you fully branded. I was like, yeah, I'm at Fincon. Like, where else would I not be branded?
Facts. And I was so mad at myself. I guess that's something I'm going to learn to do better next year. I bought 200 business cards. All of my business cards were gone that first day. Everybody kept coming up to me like, you the girl with the credit cards? Can I have one? And so I ran out that first day. So like the second day I felt really bad, but all I had was like a little QR code to show people. So
Yeah.
I guess next year I'm definitely going to be a little bit more prepared. I'm going to bring 500 cards next year. So holla at your girl.
Oh yeah. I was parsing mine out because I kept running out of cards. Like I would bring a little bit, like, all right, now I can get through these. So I had to use the QR code on the back of my phone in order to cover up, like you said. Just I'm telling you guys, if y'all ever go to FinCon, make sure you get your QR codes, lock those joints in, make sure you get your business cards ready. Like I would say, you think 500 should be enough, right?
Yeah, I definitely think 500 should be enough because, like, if I passed out 200 on the first day, like, well, technically it was day 2. Like, I probably could have passed out. I could have lasted to the end if I had 500. I probably would have had a couple left over, but I would have been cool with that.
Right. I know I got like a big bag of merch. This was my little goodie bag.
Listen, I was going around. I felt like Santa Claus carrying around that sack.
I know, right? Like, oh yeah, that's another thing. Please, when y'all go, make sure y'all bring enough, like an empty bag, because you get a lot of socks.
Bro, Self gave me like 5 pairs of socks and like 8 t-shirts.
I had no room in my suitcase. I was like, yeah, I'm done. And I had to pick up some avocado socks from.
I got the corn ones because the little boy on TikTok with the corn. I got some corn ones and I got the oranges.
Yeah, those are so cool. And I got like a lot of these bags. So Moo, please, if y'all listening or watching, I'm gonna be sponsored. I'm gonna try to get Moo. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we gotta get Moo up in here.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna ask them to see if they can come on the show. But obviously, I gotta make sure I fill out the form first and get that in there. Who else? We had in here, I don't even know what this is. Enrich Your Life. Oh, money.com. I mean, they were doing okay. I didn't really stop by that booth, nothing like that.
I got this from the International Association of Registered Financial Consultants. Very durable bag. Yes. And it came with a tumbler.
Where are you giving those out at?
I met with Dr. Constance. She's actually in the group chat too. She's from Baltimore. Shout out 410. Yeah. And she gave it to me along with like some, literature and stuff for the company she works for and all that other stuff. But yeah.
All right.
I got some good stuff.
Yeah, you did.
She said y'all didn't read my article. LOL. I tried to warn first time. But yeah, I ain't read it.
No, I ain't read it. But also, I didn't know who you were, Tiff. I'm sorry.
I know now. I tell you that.
If you bringing the heat on Twitter, like how you gonna bring the heat to the MLM group next door?
Oh my god! Oh my god! But did she lie?
No, she didn't lie. No lies. No lies in that joint. For you guys who don't know what MLM stands for, it stands for level marketing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's pretty much just a pyramid scheme set up. So in order for you to make money, you got to make sure you sell it to somebody else, and in order for them to make money, they do more. So in other words, you don't have to do any real work to make money. But they've been around for like 6 years and only had 3 millionaires. And I was like, in FinCon, we had people who made millions, if not more, within the first 2 years. But yet they've been around for so long. Yeah, I couldn't end the show without talking about them, so I'm sorry.
She said Mediavine had good brownies. Oh, the student loan planning people had cookies.
Those cookies?
Listen, I still got some. Let me tell y'all, I was killing those cookies. Do y'all hear me?
Those Texas cookies?
Them things got me. They got me through that 14-hour drive back home. I tell you that.
Oh no, you drove.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Why you getting your QVC merch? Don't talk about my QVC. Hold on. You got your burlap sack.
You gotta do that. You gotta do the hand. You gotta. This was so much fun, Anthony. Like, awesome. Oh my goodness. Like, everything about this was dope. Like how you have it segmented, the branding, the interactions. This was amazing. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank y'all so much. And we are coming up on the hour. So remember, everybody, make sure you follow The Money Plug and all platforms. Make sure you get there.
On TikTok, it's themoneyplug.co, which is my website. If any of y'all want to holla at me, I'm highly engaging on social media. Holla at your girl.
Right. And make sure y'all like, subscribe, share this. I am definitely going to take the audio as is and put this up on the show. So the podcast audio side of the house. So make sure y'all like, follow, subscribe, and definitely share with friends if y'all found value in this. Because, you know, Fincon 2023 is going to be fire.
Oh, yeah, for
You know,
sure.
because we going in with the beads. I ain't bring the beads because I left them at the hotel.
No, I bought mine. I ain't even gonna hold you. I bought mine. I bought everything home. Do you hear me? I bought everything home. I was surprised I ain't take one of them little pool noodle things they had up in there.
Yeah.
I thought about it.
Right.
I thought about it.
Deflate that joint, bring it up in the back.
I was gonna squeeze it down and put it in throw it in the back of the van. Just
right. Did you get one of those little the flamingo floaty joints? Oh man, that's awesome. Well, all right, everybody. Y'all be safe as always. I'm out.
Yes, everybody have a good one.
All right, peace.